It is more than fashionable. It is inculcated by our great universities, who believe there is such a thing as psychology, which is different from sociology, and such a thing as anthropology, which is different from both, and such a thing as aesthetics or art criticism, which is different from both, all three, all four, whatever, and that the world is made of separable items of knowledge in which, if you were a student, you could be examined by a series of disconnected questions called true or false quizzes, quiz bits, as you might say. And the first point I want to get over to you is that the world is not like that at all, or let us be more polite. The world in which I live, and in which I wish you lived, all of you, and all the time, but even I don't live in it all the time. There are times when I catch myself believing that there is such a thing as something which is separate from something else.
Gregory observed, as all of us have by now, that human beings frequently behave in ways that are destructive of natural ecological systems. And he asked the question, what is there about our way of perceiving that makes us not see the delicate interdependencies in an ecological system that give it its integrity? We don't see them, and therefore we break them.
Over here there's humanity and everything it does, and then over here is the other living stuff and climate and things like that. And the idea of those being conceptually separate, operationally separate, theoretically separate, scientifically separate is just nuts. It just asks for some of the kinds of problems we've got.
We live in a world that's only made of relationships. When you think you can talk about the table, you say it's hard. All you are saying is that in a conflict, a confrontation between the table and your hand had to stop moving at a certain point. The table won. If the table were soft, your hand would have won. But you're talking about something between the two of them.
The fact that he worked in so many disciplines is a consequence of his way of thinking. He was not interested in specializing in a narrow field. He was interested in larger patterns. He was interested in how things are connected. And especially he was interested in how living things are connected.
Cybernetics was a science developed to describe processes taking place in complex systems, interactions, organization, communication, control. What's happening? How are the different parts of a system connecting to each other?
In nature and in art, what you have is multiple levels of communication and relation that are happening simultaneously.
Gregory Bateson challenged us, certainly challenged me, to rethink or to stand back and try to perceive in a different way, to see how reality is actually operating.
I hope that may have given you some entertainment, something to think about, and I hope it may have done something to set you free from thinking in material and logical terms when you are, in fact, trying to think about living things.